least.
Tomorrow night, the career of an icon comes to an end. A man who had been in this business since November of '85. It started in the Greensboro Coliseum with the Jim Crockett Promotions. It ends in the Greensboro Coliseum with AEW. As AEW presents Revolution 2024. Location, the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Where it all started.
And it will end for the icon, Sting.
Funny enough, this would also be the first place where Clash of the Champions began.
True. We run down this card, kicking it off with the 0-hour matches. Julia Hart and Skye Blue teaming up against Kris Statlander and Willow Nightingale with Stokely Hathaway. This was just added this moment, so I didn't know about it.
My guess it was added at the last minute.
Yeah. This match has basically been boiling over the TBS championship held by Julia Hart and how Skye Blue has been, I guess you could say, corrupted by Julia's influence.
Yep.
And with Stokely Hathaway basically playing third wheel to the duo of Nightingale and Statlander, this is going to lead to some tension. I'm going to give this to Hart and Blue.
I'll probably do that as well.
Next up, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang as the AEW Trios Champions of the Acclaim, Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and Billy Gunn, team with Bullet Club Golds, Ring of Honor 6-man champs, Jay White and Billy and Colton and Austin Gunn, to take on Jeff Jarrett, Santam Signh, Jay Lethal, Willie Mack. I knew I forgot someone. Too little, too late to change it now.
Mm-hmm.
And Private Party, because I thought it was going to be Sonjay Dutt, not Willie Mack. Which would have made a lot more sense when you think about it. Marc, Quen, and Isaiah Cassidy. A Private Party.
Yep.
Why is Jay Lethal palling around still with Jeff Jarrett after nearly 2 years? He's gone outside of a couple of AEW World Tag Title shots and ROH World TV title opportunity or two, and World title opportunity. He's not really going anywhere. I mean, yeah, Jeff Jarrett's there with him as name recognition and given how tight they were in TNA. But really, does he really need Jeff palling around? In my view, no. Santam Signh, as far as I know, this will be his first legit test when you consider this guy's an NBA draft flop. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I were to pick, this is tough. I'm going to go with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang.
Too sweet the scissors.
Yep.
For me.
Smart.
Guns up and scissor me, daddy ass.
Now that we got the pre-show stuff out of the way, let's get to the good stuff.
Keep in mind, we don't know if this will be the actual order, with the exception of Sting's last match being the final match on this card. Out of these matches, I say the next one to go on will be FTR versus the BlackPool Combat Club.
Dax and Cash versus Moxley and Claudio.
Mm-hmm. Given the amount of trouble with the law, I believe Cash has gotten in recently. I'm going to give this to the BCC.
As will I, because honestly, yeah, Cash has to get his priorities straightened out.
Next up, 8-man Scramble, All Star Scramble. Originally, this was going to be Meat Madness with Miro, Wardlow, Powerhouse, Hobbs, and Lance Archer. But another injury for Miro has taken him out of the equation. So instead, it's an 8-man scramble where the winner will get a future AEW World Title match. The participants, aside from the aforementioned 3, are Chris Jericho, Hook, Brian Cage, Magnus, CMLL Magnus, not Nick Aldis, just to clear that up, and Dante Martin. Now, does this mean that the winner of this is going to Double or Nothing? No, I don't believe so. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hook already had his title opportunity, so he's canceled out.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho's been a world champion, and at this point, I don't really think they want to push him to the moon again, so let's cross him out.
Too.
Magnus is CMLL property, so I don't really see him winning this.
Nope.
It's either going to be... As much as I love a good underdog story, I don't see Dante Martin winning this.
Nope, he's out too.
So, Archer's just going to be can fire since he's not really being treated properly lately by AEW. I mean, what's he gotten out of being there? A stint with the TNT title during COVID, but that's about it.
It's not really much.
And that's even if you win that stint he had as IWGP US champ while contracted to AEW back in 2021. And lately, they've had him on ROH and Collision, teaming with the Righteous. Which I think is stupid.
Yeah.
The Gates of Agony haven't really done much for the Mogul embassies of late. Especially after dropping the ROH six-man titles.
Yeah.
So it's going to boil down to Wardlow and Hobbs. As much as I hate both of these guys, I'm going to say Hobbs.
I'm saying Wardlow. It's
Fair
anyone's game.
It's true. Timeless Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo for the women's title.
And Tony has Mariah and Luther in her corner.
But she's going up against a very talented technical wrestler in Deonna. I've seen what she can do, and I ran into her at the Gathering convention last August.
Yeah.
We didn't talk. I just said hi, and that was about it. Is this where you pull the trigger and putting the belt on Deonna? I'd say you give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go Purrazzo. Where's your preference?
I probably will pick Purrazzo. Time to pull that trigger.
Orange Cassidy defending the international title against Roderick Strong. This is a no-brainer. Give it to Roderick. We need some new blood with this belt. Orange has held it twice for too long over the last year plus.
I agree. Roderick deserves that.
And especially when you got Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, the Kingdom, at his back. Act as an insurance policy, Orange is going to get juiced.
Yeah.
Christian Cage versus Daniel Garcia, defending the TNT title against Daniel Garcia. I'm going to be blunt. This should have just, as much as I want to give Daniel Garcia a chance, this should have been a steel cage match with the cage having barbed wire around the top so the patriarchy can't get in and Christian Cage can't climb his way out.
I agree.
Instead, it's going to be the same patriarchy bullshit. Are they trying to make Christian Cage a cheap, poor man's version of Roman with the bloodline and with a second tier and with a mid-card title? That's what it's fucking looking like to me.
I agree.
Christian retains. We get that cage match between Copeland and Cage at Double or Nothing, and we put an end to the patriarchy in Sin City on May 26th.
I agree.
bullshit.
What's wrong?
The whole thing, I mean, I understand Adam Copeland stepping aside to let Daniel Garcia get the crack at the TNT title. But the point is, with the deck stacked against Danny Boy, even if he has Daddy Magic in his corner, the deck is still stacked too high against the kid. And when you have Nick Wayne and his mother and Killswitch prowling around ringside, Danny needs backup. And even if he gets it, it's still going to be outnumbered. And Christian's going to sneak out with the title still.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that Christian Cage is playing the dead daddy card every time he's wrestling someone, when to win them over to his side is disgusting. That's personal business, and that's a line you don't cross, kayfabe or otherwise.
I agree.
Sure, my old man is dying from Alzheimer's, but would one William J. Resso, a.k.a. Christian Cage, know that and try to use that on me to turn me to his side? No. As much as I don't like my old man nowadays, I kick Christian in the balls for bringing that up. Know what I mean?
Yep. Who's left?
Moving on. Continental Crown title match. Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson. If Danielson loses, he's got to shake Eddie's hand. This all stems from the fact that Danielson doesn't view Kingston as a legit champion or a legit wrestler. It's more that narcissistic belief in Danielson that the technical style, the strong style, is the best. As I've mentioned and beaten like a dead horse, Eddie is a guy who's walked the King's Road. He's an All Japan acolyte, not a New Japan guy.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot discount that no matter how bad lacking in technical skill Eddie has, Eddie Kingston always comes at you with heart and fire. True or false?
I'd say true.
And this is Kingston's chance to prove it. I'm going to give it to the Mad King.
I agree.
Brian, you better be ready to shake Kingston's hand tomorrow night, even though you don't want to. You already gave up your torch of best technical wrestler in the world to ZSJ. Now, you got to give some respect to a Mad King.
I agree. Yep.
Next up, a matchup between two members of the Don Callis family. Will Ospreay, in his first official contracted match with AEW, takes on the quote-unquote new alpha, Konosuke Takeshita.
This is going to be an interesting match, to say the least.
Yeah, both men who cut their teeth in the land of the rising sun. Ospreay with New Japan, Takeshita with DDT. And both have been poisoned in one way or another by Don Callis.
Indeed.
The question is, it all boils down to Callis. Is he going to do what Shane Hagedorn did in 2010 during the Ring of Honor TV title tournament to crown the inaugural champion when the finals came down to Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards? Where he basically stayed out of it and played middleman supporting both men? Or will he stab Will or one or the other square in the back and kick them out of the family?
Only time will tell.
If anything, I wouldn't be too surprised if he stabs Will in the back when you consider the tailspin Will went into in his final 6 weeks with New Japan.
Uh-huh.
Would it surprise you?
It wouldn't surprise me either.
That said, this is Will's official contractual debut with New Japan, so I say give him the win. Rounds up.
Yep. Rounds up.
triple threat. Samoa Joe, Hangman Page, Swerve Strickland with the AEW World title on the line. They finally pulled the trigger on turning Page heel recently on Dynamite. All I can say is it's about time they did this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I find it ironic that the babyface in this situation is Swerve, a guy who was a complete scumbag throughout 22 and 23. Hello, Raph. Capitan, want in on this? Anyway, but let's not kid ourselves. It's too soon to take the belt off Joe.
Way too soon.
So, Joe retains. Who eats the pin? I'm going to say, who eats the pin or submission? I'm going to say Hangman.
I say Swerve. Because Samoa Joe isn't going to be champion for long.
I was asking who was going to eat the pin. We're both agreeing Joe wins, right?
Yeah. So I say Swerve's going to take the pin.
I'm going to say Hangman. He's the most mentally unstable at the moment.
That would work.
Finally, the main event. Texas, no DQ, Texas Tornado for the AEW tag titles. The champions, Sting and Darby Allin, in the Icons' final match, face executive VPs Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks.
This is Sting's last match. It may as well end with Sting winning because he's going to retire. But on the other hand, it would be nice to pass the torch to the Young Bucks.
And more importantly, you don't want Darby vacating the title. If Sting and Darby win, this means the titles have to be vacated.
Yep. So I think the Young Bucks should earn this win.
That's the route I was going. Let Sting go out on his back. Let the fans have the final thank you, Sting. We will miss you. You deserve it, chance. Leave the bat, the coat, and the coat on in the center of the ring. And walk away. We embrace Darby and Flair and walk away with the show, with the show fade to black, with nothing but the bat, the gloves, and the coat sitting there in the center of the ring.
It would be a fitting way to end it.
I'm taking the Young Bucks to walk out of Greensboro, once again, the All Elite Wrestling World Tag Team Champions.
As will I.
We also like to say and our condolences to the families of Ole Anderson, Mike Jones, a.k.a. Virgil, and the most recent passing, Paul the Butcher Vachon.
Yeah.
Granted, at least in Butcher's case, he died of natural causes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wouldn't believe the crap Virgil had to deal with.
I know.
I mean, 2 strokes, stage 2 colon cancer, and dementia. Ouch.
That's messed up.
And he was only 61.
Yep.
But then again, Virgil was a guy who believed his own hype instead of what he was really all about.
Mm-hmm.
Comment, like, share if you wish, and subscribe to to our channels. This is the MegaMets Podcast. Next time we'll be back up. I'm going to say maybe around first for Sakura Genesis with the 5th of April around 7 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock
Yes. I need a long break.
on April the 6th for WrestleMania Nights 1 and 2. Till then, goodbye. Good fucking night. Dang. See you in a few weeks, Jose.